TJ Thomas is a friend and big brother who lost his own big brother, Champ, in 2022. As someone who's always been known for taking care of others, holding himself to high standards, and serving as a source of strength for his family, the loss of his brother challenged him in ways he never expected. In this episode, TJ reflects on losing someone who helped shape the man he is today and shares how that experience transformed his perspective on life. He discusses learning to let go of what he couldn't control and focus on what he could, so investing in himself, pursuing new opportunities, showing up for his family, and being a positive influence in the lives of his nephews. Through honesty, resilience, and a commitment to growth, TJ offers a powerful perspective on finding purpose after loss while carrying a loved one's legacy forward. Now take a deep breath, and let's get into the conversation. I'm here with TJ, and I'm super excited to have you on the podcast. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. How do you feel right now?
I'm a little bit nervous because I don't really know what to expect, but I'm here for it. So
okay. Well, thank you.
No problem.
So I'm going to start with an icebreaker question. Let's get to know you a little bit more on a fun level before we get into the more serious stuff.
All right, that's cool.
So you just told me that you have worked as an auto mechanic, or you had worked as an auto mechanic for like what? You said 8 years?
Like 7, 8 years.
7, 8 years. Okay. So did you enjoy it?
It was cool. Kind of got a little bit monotonous, and honestly, money rules the world, right? So
absolutely,
I was trying to just elevate.
Right.
Even right now, I'm still trying to see my next move.
Okay.
So it was cool, but after a while, I just wanted something new.
Okay. So I was telling you how like women and auto mechanics don't mix because we always feel like we're being taken advantage of because we get there, we tell you the problem. All of a sudden, y'all quote us $7,000. We on the phone with our dads. Like, what's going on?
Right.
So if you had to give advice to, let's say, a 25-year-old woman who is in a new city, doesn't know anybody, she goes to the mechanic, she having a weird sound in her car. What can a woman do to make herself less vulnerable to being played at the mechanic?
To be honest, I think like in life, we all supposed to have like a general broad understanding of, everything. I'm not really believing in the gender roles type of thing. Like even with my daughter now, she's 21, I try to get her to, just know things that a typical woman shouldn't know, but I believe everybody should know that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, doing your due diligence to kind of understand, like a basic understanding. I don't expect you to be diagnosed and everything or whatever the case may be, but just the guys that's around that do know cars or whatever it is that you feel like you're a novice to, just surround yourself with those people and try to, get a little bit of knowledge so you don't get played. And at the end of the day, too, you don't have to say yes right then and there. You could get the report and you can go to somebody that you trust who is more versed on the topic and, just go from there,
Okay. So as a woman, do you think I should know how to change my own tire?
Yes.
Okay. Does your daughter know how to do that?
No.
Okay.
I've definitely tried to show her, but she really is not interested. I did do my part.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the easiest thing that I can learn related to cars that would help me at a mechanic?
Checking fluids, checking your air filter.
Okay.
You might not know how to change a tire, but just like looking at the tire to see if it's low or something like that. A lot of times they are dishonest, you know what I mean? And they do see, not just you, they'll see a guy who just looks real vulnerable. They try to take advantage of him too.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to like a dealership. A dealership is all about making money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just those little things, those little they call it multi-point inspection, right? Generally when you go to the dealership or any sort of service, they'll show you like probably like 21 points, like wiper blades or such things like that. Just get familiar with those things. So, the basic things that even like brake pad level, it ain't supposed to be super thin or nothing like that. So just simple stuff like that. Just even if you don't know how to change it,
right,
but just able to like visually look like, hey, this is going on.
Right.
Pay more attention. Don't just crank up and just drive. Like maybe today I feel a little bit of shaking. Let's try to handle that before it gets to a big situation. You see what I'm saying?
You are throwing shade, but you're not throwing shade. So saying, I love it. He said, pay more attention. Don't just crank it.
A lot of people just crank as low as it takes me to point A to point B. That's it.
Going over the curbs and everything.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Just stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Well, ladies, you heard it here first. Okay. Let's get educated on what's going on with our cars. I will say, at least I do know how to check certain levels, like the oil. Like I pull the little thing out and look at the right. Okay. Right? Dipstick. That's what it's called. I know a few things, but there's more to learn. So thank you.
No problem.
Okay, cool. So let's see. How would you describe our relationship?
So to be honest, I actually thought about that earlier today. Like I've also always known you as Fiend and Ope's little sister, and the other day when you approached me about this, I was like, dang, Damisi is like really growing up. Like Damisi is like her own now. Like she's not under the umbrella of Fiend and Ope's sister anymore, But our relationship, I know you. I think we're kind of a couple of years apart. So I don't know all there is to know about you. I know you into UGA, whatever. I know very...
Go Dogs.
I know very basic information, really and truly.
Okay. So you would consider me like a little sis, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Every time I see you, I'm going to say, what's up?
Yeah.
How you doing or whatever? But I ain't going to say we the closest, but, I do care for you. And, I like to see even this. Like, I'm very proud of you,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I see you the same way. Like, my older sister's friend, but like turned brother, right, and just like somebody who I'm cool with, and the love is there.
Right,
the love is there. So like family friend, big brother kind of vibe. I like to ask that question because I'm just always curious. You don't really get to talk about like how somebody else sees you or how you see the other person, but it's nice to know that the feeling is mutual.
Yeah. Okay, you might think you mess with somebody and they're like,
Actually, who are you again? What's your name?
Right.
Okay, so what did you think when I approached you with this request, and why ultimately did you decide to accept?
All right, so I wasn't expecting it. It was a little bit of a shock. I never really divulged into this topic too deep with, anybody else other than maybe my wife and, my sister-in-law, my parents or whatever, But Fiend and Ope were very, instrumental to me when I was going through my situation. And, last year you guys went through yours too. And, I just felt like, dang, that's like one more thing is an unfortunate thing, but we share that, and they were support for me, you know what I mean? Especially in the beginning, like Fiend, that's one thing about Fiend. Fiend loves hard.
Yeah.
I've always known that about Fiend, like back in like her college days when we met.
Yeah.
Like she loves hard.
Yeah.
And I really felt that, you know what I mean? And even you, I think a time or two, you reached out to me as well, and I really appreciate that,
Wait, hold on. Is that your phone?
I think I put my phone on silent. My bad. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But, I don't think my life is that interesting, but the fact that somebody reached out to me, I was like, hey, why not give it a try? You know what I mean? But eventually, I feel like more than we know, and a lot of people do struggle about talking about this. So maybe my experience or whatever I could say here today may help somebody else. So, that's kind of why I accepted it.
Okay. Cool. Well, yes, Fee definitely loves hard. She is somebody who I I aspire to be like, in the sense of like how intentional she is with reaching out to people and showing them that she cares.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even without, the situation happening with us, like, I know that she would just automatically think about like, how is this person doing? Let me reach out to them. Whereas me, I think it was only probably after my situation that I'm like, how are these people doing it? Like,
Yeah.
how have these people done it all this time? So,
Funny enough, it wasn't even just towards me though. Like Fiend really was trying to make sure my sister-in-law was good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I appreciate her for that. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, you know, my brother, my sister, my mom's, everybody that's close to my brother is feeling it. But you got to think about his wife and his two kids who they were with him every day. Like,
Right.
So I would
Right.
really appreciate Fiend, and not just Fiend, but everybody who, really was trying to be there for Olivia or whatever. So, but Fiend did her thing though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah, and y'all have our love and support and prayers always. Okay. All right, well, let's get into it a little more.
All right.
So, have you experienced grief before the loss of your brother?
In a way.
Okay.
I have grandparents that has passed
Okay.
before. You got cousins that have passed on before as well.
Okay.
They were younger than my brother.
Oh, wow.
And you kind of feel hurt at the time, but it ain't that deep of a connection like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
My grandma was kind of messed up a little bit because they consider my favorite. I'm the favorite.
Oh.
If my cousins hear that right now, they probably get upset.
They'll fight you.
Hey, but at the end of the day, my brother, somebody that like from day one, like, I mean, it's so crazy. Like certain things that happen in my life, like my brother be there.
Yeah.
Just somebody to talk to. Like even the foolishness I see on IG, like every day we sending stuff back and forth. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
But I think he was the one that really hit me the hardest.
Yeah.
Thus far.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
okay.
So I guess slightly previously to my brother, but not in the same way though.
Right. That makes sense. It's funny that you mentioned the whole IG nonsense because you do be having some crazy stuff in your story.
IG be, when I got my free time, I be.
That's an outlet for you?
Word. I ain't trying to be gross in that day. You be in the bathroom in your office for a little bit. Yeah. Spend time on the IG.
Oh my gosh. No, there's something special about that. Like they talk about how like your best friend is somebody who you're not only just like texting, but you're also like sending messages on IG, and you got like 3 different threads of communication going on at the same time. So was that you and Champ?
Yeah, me and my brother. We might have like 1 or 2 other friends, but like just a pair foolery, like we be laughing, bro. Like that's one thing. Like me and my brother love to laugh. Love to have fun. So kind of miss that.
Okay. If you had to describe your journey of grieving your brother in one word, what word would you use and why?
Confusion. Because like even to this day, like even though I did tell you before we started that I'm kind of able to deal with it a lot better, but you kind of still like, why did it happen?
Yeah.
Like you just daily trying to find a purpose in it. Because I do believe that everything in life happens for some sort of a purpose, or we supposed to take from it and implement whatever we learn into our life. So I'm constantly seeking to understand why.
Okay.
So yeah, confusion.
Confusion. That's relatable for sure. What is the most what's the most helpful, or I guess in response to that question of like, why did it happen? Whatever, whether it's God you're asking, whether it's other people you're asking, like, what's the most helpful thing you've heard as it relates to your grief? Like whether it's something you read or something you saw or something somebody just said to you that like stuck with you as like, okay, that's helpful.
So I've one thing I've heard is that at that particular moment, like God was pleased with him, and he saw that at the time where he was his best person, you know, and he thought at this time, you know, let me take him as he is now. So when he does wake up, you can say, well done. You know what I mean?
So you remember who told you that?
My dad.
And that helps you.
Yeah, that's what I cling to.
Okay.
Kind of, you know, get me through daily.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. And on the other end, what is the most unhelpful thing? I feel like there's a lot that people say in grief. Like, have you heard or seen anything that you're like, just don't? That's not helpful. I think it would be helpful for people to hear because people are always like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say. And I'm like, well, honestly, this is something you shouldn't say.
Nobody really ain't saying nothing crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, I don't really have nobody that I move with that, you know, it's no funny people or whatever. Okay. You know what I mean? So ain't nobody really saying nothing to me crazy. You know what I mean? So okay, what about like an unhelpful action? Because you know, some people want to support and so they do certain things. Like, is there anything that you were like, I didn't need that, or like that wasn't necessarily the best? It doesn't have to be a specific person, but like if there's something you can think of that like you didn't need. Can't think of nothing negative at that point. You know what I mean? Okay. Know, to be honest, nothing really pissed me off or nothing. So that I don't got an answer for that one right there. Are you somebody who gets angry like easily? It take a lot for me to really fly off the hinge. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things that annoy me or whatever. I don't really know particularly what, and I mean, it might be the day too. Like, I'm the type of dude, like, if I don't get no sleep, it's gonna be a rough day, bro. I understand. Okay. You know, but I don't know. My wife said I ain't got no patience, but I think I got patience though. Your wife would know. Yeah, but I think out of you know, everybody that I grew up in my household, I got the it take a lot more for me to get angry than the rest of them. Okay. So I can see that. If I'm comparing them to me, yeah, I don't get angry really easy. But then if you're comparing you to the average individual, you have a short fuse. Is that what I'm hearing? Maybe. Your wife would say that, huh? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, so since you lost Champ, what has been the biggest change you have noticed in yourself? Whether it's your mindset, whether it's actions, like what's been the biggest change? Pretty much like whatever I want, go for it. You know, my brother was 35, I think. You know, thankfully, you know, I made 36 this past January, and I ain't gonna lie, you know, your head kind of be messing with you like, dang, you know, I got to do more because I got a longer life or whatever, you know, so I got to do more. And, you know, sometimes you say, oh, I would like to do this. I would like to do that. And you be like, oh, I'm going to wait on it. I'm going to wait on it and see what happened. But I'm kind of being more intentional on the things that I want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to just try to find a way to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, even like right now, I've been trying to find like, you know, a second income or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this past February, you know, I was just like, you know what? I'm pretty good with cars or whatever. So let me just go out here and see if I could flip cars. And I did it, you know. Okay. Wow. And I'm getting my butt kicked for it. You know, just starting up, you know, you getting a lot of like what do you call it? Lessons. Yeah, you know, failures. Right. Yeah. But you gotta fail to build yourself back up or whatever. But I'm not discouraged. I'm still trying to push on forward and overcome the challenges that has arisen. But just small things like that. Even I talked to you about my career a little bit. I'm trying to find that next thing. I've been doing a lot of certifications. Prior to my brother, I think in like 2021 or whatever, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some certs or whatever the case may be. And bro, I ain't even taking out one. Last year, September, I think was like the first one. And, from then, I got like 4 under my belt so far.
Wow.
So I'm really just trying to push on through. I'm about to be 10 years on my job, and my goal is by November, which is the 10 years, to get all my certifications so I can have a master certification.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just putting goals in place and just trying to knock them out, and I think that's the one thing that I could really say since my brother's passing is like, don't put it off for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just put your mind to it and just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I love that. That's a very positive change. And when you go through something as tragic as what you've been through, it's very easy to not have that mindset and not let it motivate you in a positive way, but instead lead you in a negative path. So, first of all, congratulations. And that is amazing.
Thank you.
And why do you, if you haven't already shared, why do you think that you went one way and not the other way?
So don't get it twisted. I was pretty jacked up. You know what I mean? It happened in January. It actually happened like 11
January
days,
of 2022.
2022.
Yes. Okay.
It was 11 days before my birthday. So, I didn't really want to do nothing, and I just wanted to be in the house. My wife kind of just like pushed me to. We went out for dinner. You know what I mean? And I really just didn't want to do nothing. From like January to July, I was just stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my wife got to the point where she was just like, look, I'm signing you up for therapy. Like, that's it. There wasn't no questions, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, whatever. So at first I was just like, whatever. I've been to therapy before. I don't really rate that joint, whatever, you know what I mean? But then, little by little, started opening up a little bit more and just being able to unpack that particular situation and like other situations that, is going on in my life. And I feel like being able to talk to somebody who don't know me from a can of paint so they can really give me an honest feedback. A lot of the times some people that we have around us try not to hurt your feelings or whatever the case may be. And, this was the first time I really seen therapy working for me. So I expressed certain things that I would like to do in my life, and she was like, yo, do it. And that just kind of put that battery in my back to really just, go ahead and things that I've been wanting to do for years, like just really trying to attack it, And January 2023, my birthday, I just really made a stand to say like, yo, I'm taking my life back, really. You know what I mean? So it took some time. So there was that point, it was like, excuse my language, F it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
But I think I'm in a good space now. You know what I mean? So, just forward moving.
Yeah. Shout out to your wife.
Appreciate my wife.
She said, I don't care what you say. I'm signing up for therapy. You're going.
I call her my headache, but I love that lady. I'm gonna hold you.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we need that push. We need that friend, that, partner, that person who sees where you're at and is like, okay, enough, but gives you some time to be down. But if we are going to move forward at all, then, we have to take little steps. And so it sounds like she was instrumental in like you taking that step. And then your therapist was also instrumental in you like being more sure about like, let me do what I want to do.
I feel like in life, got to be uncomfortable. You got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. See what I'm saying? A lot of the things that's difficult in your life, you got to approach them head on, really. You see what I'm saying? It was definitely a big change in my life, but, you know, at the end of the day, I just had to deal with it, you know? So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get a little sentimental. So get ready. So what do you think, what do you think Champ's response would be to you seeing everything you're doing now?
My brother was a big supporter of me. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know, I think my brother was like 18 months older than me. So pretty much that's all I know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course, you know, in the teenage years, he's a little bit older than me. He trying to, you know, find himself. You poo-pooing on your little brother or whatever, you know what I mean? But even his wife, like, she was instrumental in her really pushing him to like include me again. You know what I mean? Everybody go through that in that teenage years. You trying to find yourself. You don't really want to be attached no more. You know what I mean? Yeah. But me and my brother was cool as hell, man. Like, me and my brother could talk. Like, we grew up in a family that didn't talk.
Okay.
So when we got to that point, like, the frustrations, the good, the bad thoughts, like, we could go to each other. You see what I'm saying? And I really do miss that. You know, I got a couple of people in my corner right now that they're not my blood. Well, Dave is my blood. You know my cousin Dave. Yeah. He's my blood. He's one of the people that I could go to, but I got a couple of other dudes that, you know, I could rap with, and, you know, they were able to help me, but ain't nobody gonna replace my brother though. You see what I'm saying? So it's rough. You know what I mean? Like, even the other day, my mom got in a very bad accident. Matter of fact, the same exact way my brother died, my mom was in an accident, and I was in a bad spot, yo. And like, all I could just be like, damn, I wish my brother was here right now. Like, I pulling out my phone, like ready to call him, and it's like, yo, this man is not here. You know what I mean? And like 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was in a rough spot, yo. See my mom in the hospital. My mom had to do she had to put a stent in her heart and all this other stuff. And, you know, just knowing that I can't do nothing to fix it, it was eating me up. Yeah. You know what I mean, it was really eating me up. You know, my mom calls me the glue, right?
Really?
Of the family. I'm the youngest of the three of us.
Okay.
My mom calls me the glue. You know.
Why does she call you that?
I don't know. I just try to keep everything together. You know. I do all I can for my family. Like, I do have my own household now, where, you know, I'm not gonna let them starve, but I don't forget my parents. I don't forget my sister, my brother, you know, my nephews. Like, I go hard for all of them. You see what I'm saying? And just to know that you really can't do nothing in this point in time, and you see the people that you love, like, really, like, hurting. Joint is crazy, yo. And, you know, my wife told me I put a lot of pressure on myself, but that's just me, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's real. That is real, and I can relate. And I don't know if you know. You probably don't, because I never shared this with you. But so the podcast is called "There's Grace for That," and the point of the premise is, like, you know, giving yourself kindness and showing yourself that it's okay, especially in tough times, and for people who, like, are hard on themselves and tend to not give themselves grace because you just have super high standards for yourself and you just expect a lot of yourself, and other people expect things of you. And I am the youngest as well, but I've also just been, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the glue, but people have told me that I'm like a mom or an aunt, like I'm that caretaker, right. Like I'm making sure people are good. You know, and now that I am coming into my own and I have a job, I have an income, I do want to take care of people. So yeah, it is very difficult to like look and see people struggling and your family, the people you love the most. And then there are these circumstances that are completely outside of your control.
Right.
So with that, going to the premise of the whole podcast and everything, and like this season being There's Grace for Grief, how are you giving yourself grace through this process and just through life in general?
I mean, after, you know, I kind of beat myself up, you know, or, you know, I have that sad moment, just like really have a moment with yourself and you just like, bro, you can't change it, bro. You cannot change it. He's like, whether you did this or whether you did that or whether you do this now, like that particular situation, you cannot change it, you know, and you just got to be real with yourself, you know.
Yeah.
It's cliche, you know, but you always hear, the things that you could change, change it. The things that you can't change, don't worry about it. So it's like, if you truly believe in God, bro, you're going to do your part. You're going to take care of the rest. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, I just got to constantly tell myself that, you know, just you can't change it, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just do what you can.
Yeah.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I've just been dealing with it.
I'm glad that you have been repeating that to yourself because, yeah, it does take repetition for it to really seep in. Because you can, like, there's one thing I know with my therapy journey. My therapist was, and this is prior to my brother, but like my therapist was instrumental in me, one, even realizing I was a perfectionist because I didn't know I was a perfectionist. And then constantly like going to my therapist, and I was in grad school and I was like doing all these things and I'll be like, man, I don't know what's wrong with me. And she would just be like, what are you talking about? Like, and so I think like going to her, getting that reminder of like, you're human, you're learning new things, you're going to make mistakes. Like, it's okay. Hearing that every so often made me then start to tell myself that and actually believe it. But like, it can't just be a one-off thing. It's something you have to constantly remind yourself of.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely might be good today. Tomorrow, yeah, I mean, like even I talked about the certifications I'm taking. The first one I took, I failed. I mean, I didn't fail by a large, you know, gap or nothing, but I did fail, and I felt like crap, yo. Should have said,
yeah. Like, I mean, why even bother?
Like I sat in the parking lot for over an hour. Should have said that. My mom, being Jamaican or whatever, they don't really know how to tap into that. It's gonna be alright type type. She like the first thing my mom gonna say, "How that happened? Like, what you mean?" You know, but
like I'm already asking myself how it happened.
Like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you later. Right. No, I'm gonna get the support from somewhere else. You know what I mean? And you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, when you think about it, it's like, hey, you tried. You kind of know what you is expected of you. So the next time around, like you it's not a surprise. You know, you should be able to do better the next time. And you know, I think like 2 months later, you know, I went in there and I ended up getting it. Okay. And thus far, everyone after that, you know, I ain't never failed again. So, you know, it's life, yo. Like, yeah, it's full of ups and downs. Yeah, it's really. I'm also to the point of like now, like, yo, this is the problem. Let's not dwell on the problem. Let's dwell on the solution. You know. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of us dwell in a place like, oh my God, woe is me, woe is me. You know, like, okay, it happened. Like, you're there. Like, let's think about how we're gonna move forward. You know? Yeah, that's real. Yeah, sometimes that woe is me. Yeah. It'd be a comfortable place to be at. You know, woe is me. Look, have pity on me. Okay. But then you look at the other man and you be like, yo, he living life way worse than you. And yet every day he got a smile on his face, yo. Yeah. Like there's so many things in life. You always say, Lord, we want. And then if you really look at people that are truly happy, don't even have half of what you got, you know? Right. Yeah. So you got to be thankful for the things that you do got, you know what I mean? So I just try to, you know, them little tidbits or whatever, like when you had that little one-on-one with yourself to really just be thankful, bro. Thankful. See what I'm saying? So. Okay. So something you said was, if you believe in God,
then you control what you can and leave the rest up to God, right?
Exactly.
So I wanted to know how Champ's death has affected you spiritually. Actually, let's just start there. How has it affected you spiritually? Because you clearly still believe in God.
I do. To be honest, I ain't the most spiritual person. I ain't gonna hold you. I grew up in the church, and I do believe in God, and I slightly believe in miracles and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? But to be honest, I think God helps those who help themselves in a way too. You know what I mean? I just got to do my work. Whatever. Again, whatever I can control, I got to do it. I'm not gonna have a situation here and not attempt something. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know if y'all like that in y'all culture too, but I feel like in the Caribbean culture, especially back in the older people, is like just pray about it.
Yeah.
Like prayer is cool, like, but bro, you got to eat, bro. Like,
yeah,
just, you got to do something, like,
right.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like faith without works is dead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Though like I said, I ain't the most spiritual person, but them little tidbits right there, like, really I be holding it dear to me, like, for real, yeah.
Okay.
But do I think I got closer to God or further apart? I think I'm the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I do pray intentionally about that. The kids, that's dealing with it.
Yeah.
Olivia, who's dealing with it on a more closer, is more closer than me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, that was their daily, every day seeing him or whatever. I more intentionally pray for them to deal with the situations that arise because of that.
Right.
Okay. But I don't think it has changed or anything like that. Just more intentionally about that particular situation.
Okay. How has it affected you, if in any way, socially?
At first, again, you know what I mean? I didn't really want to do too much of nothing. Like you said before, you know me by passion or whatever, but like I used to be the dude who wanna go out and just
have a good time.
You see what I'm saying? Even my brother, like, you put some soca music on, that's the man right there. You know what I mean? So I still like to go out, but I think also too just maturity and just where I'm at in life. I'm kind of in the house a lot more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I like to be around people that are special to me, though. You see what I'm saying? I like to be around Dave. Like, I like to be around my parents. Just spending that time, building those memories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if we go do something, like, I want to do it together.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like now, even more than before, I just like to spend that sociable time more intentionally than just going popping bottles or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if my brother particularly has to directly deal with that, but I do see that I'm just maturing on a certain level. Like, that drink don't really tickle my fancy no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
maybe that propelled me into that. I don't know, but I definitely see a change socially.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I had a period of time where I think I just felt so like unstable that I felt like when I'm showing up in spaces where I'm in like crowds where I would show up a certain way, I didn't know how to show up anymore because I'm so much in my head and I'm so
feel like you were distant, kind of.
Yeah. I'm here physically, but like in every other way, I'm not here. And it made social interactions like very difficult for a period of time, to where I really only felt comfortable in my bed or like with the people who knew me the very
Sometimes
best.
too, it's like you put a guilt on yourself to be like, I'm not supposed to be having fun because my brother is gone. You know, you kind of put that guilt on yourself. But when I really think about it, my brother really, he don't really want nobody to like fuss over him like that. My brother wants you to live your life, yo. So I'm saying, enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? So even part of that too is like, bro, this man want me to do this joint. You know what I mean? So why keep burdening myself? You know what I mean? Or putting myself in this space. You know what I mean? So yeah, I could definitely say at first, you know, I had to kind of, I don't know, it's probably a combination of therapy and just like freaking waking up or whatever, just like, hey, snap out of it, you know what I mean, you know, but I had my challenges in the beginning though.
Do you want to talk about some of those challenges?
Like I said, man, you know, I just wanted to be alone. You know what I mean? There days where I could remember, so I got a drone.
Okay.
I mean, I fly it every once in a while, but especially them 6 months where I was really struggling, like I'll find myself just going to the park by myself, bro, flying the drone, and then I sit in the car for like an hour just thinking or whatever, you know. I just want to be alone, like just kind of just wanted to shut out the world, bro. Just really just feel sorry for myself in a way too. You see what I'm saying?
Woe is you.
Yeah, you know, and like I said, even for my birthday, like I don't really like to make a stink about my birthday per se, but I used to be the guy who like I want to go out, like I'm just, you know what I mean, it's just what that day I was just like, nah, I don't want to do nothing. Like, you know, my wife just kept on pushing me, and I was like, all right, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I really wasn't feeling it, you know. At that point in time, the only thing that I kind of wanted to do was grab a hold of my nephews. Like they were, I think my youngest nephew was 2, and the oldest one was like 6 or something. So I just wanted to grab a hold of them and like kind of support them. And I think in the beginning, you know, I kind of was trying to like give them everything or whatever the case may be. And, you know, I started to say like, hey, this ain't good for them, you know.
Yeah.
But besides them, like I really just want to be by myself, yo. Just and that ain't me.
Yeah.
That's not me. Like I like fellowship. I like getting together, you know. But at that particular time, that was definitely a struggle, you know.
Okay. So then it was after like that 6-month period where you started getting out of that.
Slowly.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Another difficult time too was my grandfather in 2022. My grandfather in Jamaica turned 100. So my brother was supposed to go. His sons were supposed to go. And, you know, we still decided that we're going to go as a family. And, you know, everything was cool because, you know, it was part pleasure and, you know, family too. So the first part of the trip, it was all fun. You know, we doing a little tourist thing or whatever the case may be. But then when it came to the time to like really hang out with the family, it was like, damn, this man ain't here. Like, you looking around, I'm looking at, you know, all my cousins. I ain't gonna say be the closest, but you just seeing like there's so many people here. Like, this man ain't here, bro. You know what I mean? And trying like that, you know, even to this day, certain things like that still kind of hurt.
Yeah. Getting together with family without him. Yeah.
You know, it don't be on no cry sob joint because I really ain't the most emotional person like that. I think I deal with my emotions a little bit different than others. It takes a lot for me to cry.
But you're not holding yourself back. It's just not the way you handle things.
I think slightly, you know, I kind of grew up where
men don't cry.
Not necessarily men don't cry, but like stop being soft type joint. You know what I mean?
Men don't cry. Like, okay, same thing.
I guess so, you know, but I do cry. I shed tears, you know.
Thug tears?
Nah, not no Doug too. I ain't no Doug, bro. I'm a big softy,
Teddy
yo.
bear,
Word.
yeah.
But my wife see me cry a lot. You know, it's things that I worry about and things that I, touch me or whatever. See what I'm saying? My wife see me cry. That's why I say, yo, my wife the GOAT, bro.
So you have shared a lot about Champ with us, like growing up and, just your relationship, but is there anything else that you like want the world to know about your brother? Everybody who's hearing this, like if they didn't get a chance to meet him, what do you want them to know about him? What do you want to share?
My brother was highly misunderstood.
Really?
Yes, my brother kind of. I was thinking about it this morning. My brother and my dad is like very similar.
Okay.
Always seen that. He and my dad got similar mannerisms, but like when you really start to break it down and like look at them, they love hard. Like the people that they love hard. And when something changes, their reaction to it ain't the greatest, but it's because of how much they care. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
My brother and my dad, again, they sacrifice for their family. See what I'm saying? First couple of years of my brother and his wife being married, my sister-in-law was in school. So, my brother was working as a correctional officer and stuff. And, they ended up having my nephew. And, it was hard. I mean, and ain't one time he really complained, yo. And he sacrificed for his family. You see what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? And I really look up to him for that. Because even, at the time, I ain't gonna discuss no dollars, but I was making more money than my brother. And I had way less responsibility than my brother. And I'm just like, damn, he making it. I know joint is rough and you gotta sacrifice certain things and but they making it, bro. You know what I mean? And just like I was saying before, like, you always, it's human nature to complain and say you want more, but when you like really think about it, like there's so much people out here that's making it off of way less than what you got.
Right.
And I don't know, yo. My brother's very loving, yo. But he gonna speak his mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times it might be brash or, it might rub you the wrong way, but son, he love strong, yo.
Okay.
My brother F with who he F with. If he don't F with you, then it's a different situation. You know what I mean? He's not big on change, you know what I mean? But he just like to be with them core people that he mess with, you know what I mean? I don't know, but he a good dude. Brother's a very good dude. I mean, I ain't gonna just paint him as no saint. Like we all got our flaws, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but the fact is that when you know him, you love his flaws.
Yeah.
You love his, you love it all. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
thank you for sharing that with us. How are you most like him?
How am I most like my brother? I don't know. That's kind of strange. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of people say that we got similar mannerisms.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I even have people, even to this day, is like, man, that was such a champ moment. You know what I mean? Somebody that you spent the better part of your childhood. I think me and my brother shared rooms until I was about 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like we're gonna have similarities.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know, yo. Like, we like the same types of music.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What y'all like?
Well, similarly, we like most of y'all culture, yo. We like reggae.
Love soca.
Yeah, we like soca, we like reggae, but my brother was the singer. You know what I mean? He took that after my dad. I did grow up in a children's choir or whatever, but kind of left that alone. You know what I mean?
Wait, can you sing and you just don't have interest in singing, or like you don't really sing that well?
I'm not the greatest singer. I could hold a note or two.
Okay, tenor, bass.
Tenor, they used to say. I used to sing tenor, you know what I mean? But I'm not the greatest singer, you know what I mean? But I think if it's something that, I kept up with or whatever, I'll be able to hold my own. But my brother and my sister, they got it. My pops, he pretty good at it too. My mom, no. Like just yeah.
Just no.
You know what I mean? I'm in the middle, you know what I mean? But yeah, he was the person. He was a bunch of different like singing groups and stuff through our church. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to be like the biggest groupie, you know what I mean? You see my brother there, like, yeah, that's my brother. Yes! I mean, so yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. What else? Like, I don't know, man. Like me and my brother was different, but at the same time, we kind of cool. I'm in mechanics right now. My brother actually went to school to be a mechanic. Oh. He ain't do nothing with it per se, but even when I was going to school, I kind of wanted to be a mechanic, but I was just like, bro, I ain't trying to follow behind him. I'm trying to do my own thing, and then probably like 10 years later, have to go right back. You know what I mean? But it's all good.
So, how are you most unlike your brother?
I think I'm more of a listener than my brother.
He more of a talker?
As far as like...
Or just less of a listener?
My brother reacts quicker than I do.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be the type of dude like, yo, all right, hold on. Let's kind of hear the whole story. You know what I mean? And my brother just like, nah, just
you're the sense of reason.
Yeah, I'll be trying to like, bro, let me just hear it, bro. Like, chill. I mean, you know what I mean?
So was he a hothead?
Not in his later years.
Okay.
If my cousin was here right now, our older cousin Junior, used to say that Champ used to have to be banned from watching wrestling. Champ used to be like always punching people or whatever, you know what I mean? I was kind of the reserved, quiet one, you know what I mean? And Champ got way more beaten than me, I got beaten for like schoolwork.
Right.
But Champ got beaten for like just being mad, mischievous and stuff. And then like all of a sudden he just kind of like just mellowed out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah,
was crazy. It after he had his kids?
I don't even know exactly when, he just kind of mellowed out a little bit, Okay. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay. I think there are much similarities, but we all kind of had our own individual self, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. It's nice that he had you as the voice of reason, when he was going to make a decision he probably shouldn't have. He had you to be like, all right, calm down.
Oh, just chill. Like people used to be like, yo, why your brother so angry, yo? Like, I don't know, yo. And I just be there like, I don't know. Like, like yo, that's just Champ, bro. Like, hey,
okay. So we're nearing the end. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want to talk about or want to share?
I don't know. I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.
Can't really think of nothing to add to our conversation thus far. You know what I mean? But just really reflecting and giving me the opportunity to kind of tell my story. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I don't think nobody really sat down and really asked me in this
way.
Yeah. So
listen, I got questions for days, so we can come back and do the same thing next week at the weekend.
I mean, sure. If you got more time, like, hey, it's all good. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. So ending, what is something you're proud of yourself for?
I don't like to pat myself on the back, but just spending more time with my nephews. Just recognizing the need of a male figure. I ain't gonna say father figure because I really ain't there like that every day. You know what I mean? We all busy, you see what I'm saying? But just implementing some of the things that me and my brother grew up doing and just trying to get them in the right direction. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Again, we beat ourselves up. There's so much more that I do want to do. Mm-hmm. Right. But I am happy to have the opportunity to be even more influential in their life than if my brother was here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, if my brother was here, it'll probably be like, hey, every now once in a while, let me get them or whatever. But like now I intentionally spend time with them. Mm-hmm. Like, they love being around me. Aww. And my dad too. Like, I just feel like they feel a connection or some semblance of their father when they're around me and my dad. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I just think because we known my brother from, day one, like we can really, tell him all about him or whatever, even I see them do a lot of things. I was like, dang, bro.
That's like the dad.
That's your brother. That's your dad, bro. I'm like, damn, me and your brother, your dad used to do the same thing, yo. Like they be fighting every once in a while. I be like, bro, y'all mad rough. And then I think about it, like, me and Chan was like that too, yo. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it brings me joy to see them coming up. Mm-hmm. I don't have biological kids of my own. So being able to be influential to young minds and just things that I know their father will want them to do. Yeah. Just being able to, carry the torch, mm-hmm. Just, still things that, gotta get right, but they kids, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just gotta be consistent. Mm. You know what I mean? I mean, the way how we grew up compared to how kids are growing up is a little bit different, but I think that we still need to instill certain values in these kids, you know what I mean? So I'm just there trying to do my due diligence, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're doing well, TJ.
Thank you.
I know Champ would be proud, and you are in the best position to, show them who their dad was and, represent him to them well. So yeah, keep doing that.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. Very last question. How can we support you? What you got? You have anything going on that you want us to support? Is there any way that, people can show you love?
Yo, really and truly, man, just pray for me, yo. Really and truly, like, I'm not the one to really ask for anything. Even if like things is real sticky, I ain't the one to really ask for nothing, yo. So the best you could do is like, yo, just pray for me, and whatever God see that I need that little extra sprinkle of blessing, yo, them praise gonna cover that. You know what I mean? Okay. But I ain't really doing nothing particularly where I could be like, yo, go support my t-shirt brand.
Right.
Like
go buy my book.
Right. So
okay. Well, when and if that opportunity presents itself, let us know. Yeah. But I'm very happy that you came and told your story. So something I like to do at the end of every episode is, it's cheesy, but whatever. I would like us to say together, there's grace for that. Okay. So what? Why are you so ready? Okay. So, okay. 1. Well, you do the countdown.
All right. 1, 2, 3. There is grace for that.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the There's Grace for That podcast. I hope you felt seen, heard, inspired, or encouraged as you listened, and I hope you'll tune into the next one. For now, we're on Instagram at There's Grace for _that. So we'd love if you would give us a follow and click the link tree in our bio if you want to share any feedback or if you'd like to support the podcast financially, which is by no means expected, but always appreciated. Remember, this is a group effort and I welcome your input with open arms. And lastly, for today's homework, tell me, what's something you're doing to work on yourself at the moment? Whether it's personal, professional, social, I'd love to hear how you're growing and what you're working on currently. Leave a comment on Spotify, YouTube, or Instagram. And of course, if you feel led, please share this episode with someone you think would benefit. Again, thank you so much. And until next time.